February the 9th, 2019. Guys, I want to do a video, and a lot of times when you see a title like Apocalyptic Sounds in the Sky, no explanation for the mysterious booms and flashes of light across America, it may be coming from an English tabloid or Before's News or some very unreliable platform. This is Zero Hedge. Let me just kind of pull it up just a moment. Pretty reliable, pretty accurate. They care a lot about this nation. They really don't handle a lot of BS. And it's being reported in a lot of different places. I think I know what it is, even though they're saying it's mysterious. They're saying for weeks, Americans all over the country have been rattled by extremely loud, booming sounds that seem to have no explanation. They are often accompanied by mysterious flashes of light. Now, automatically, most of you guys that have watched my channel for the last 6 or 7 years know if you get a flash of light in the sky and a boom, and it's not a military attack, then you know that it's more than likely an asteroid coming in, like we saw a week ago that came over Florida, remember, exploded over Cuba, shook the houses, rattled windows, shook the ground, loud explosions in the sky. It happened in daylight. It was easily seen. And let me say this. There's one of the sites that I really like, and they bring information from different places. I want to go there, then I'm going to come back to this article. Now, we're looking at spaceweather.com. It's one of the links on both of our websites, BP Headline News and BPEarthwatch.com. It has been from Jump Street from day one many years ago. And they do not put together all the information on their page. They collect it very well. It's an excellent site. They do their own research, but this one is taken from NASA and other people from around the world. So they report, in this case, in the favor of space weather, the data that they're given. Now, this is different asteroids. You can see it's given the date, February 4th. We'll come up to, we're at February 10th. They're saying 10th because universal time. And they're actually coding an asteroid that is 2.7 LD, a little darker color than the light color. If it goes to orange and red, then they're closer and closer. It used to be different. 2.7 LD. Now, the moon is an average of 288,000 miles from the Earth. So go almost 3 times that, right? You're getting close to 1,000,000 miles. Why is it even mentioned in any color code or anything? It used to be where it went to 0.0003 or below that, then it was within Earth's inner atmosphere. It was below the satellite band. Now they put us, and I can back it up. A couple, maybe 200,000 people saw the video, 300,000. But I was on a radio show with Paul Begley, and if any of you guys are familiar with Thor News, out of my home state of Texas, he looked at the information, then actually awarded me an honorary Thor News golden or silver medal. I can't remember what it was, Thor. I thank you for it, for correcting them. In other words, they were putting an asteroid on this list saying it was coming about 30 or 40,000 miles above our planet. But I had went in and looked at the technical data, which you can do, like with the JPL models, and it gives you the actual numbers. And I was saying they're wrong about the 30,000 miles. This thing's going to come 12 to 13,000 miles under the direct TV satellites that you get your TV from. It was going to come within 8,000 miles of our planet, but still had an uncertainty level. That went on for about 2 weeks. Then suddenly, one day, we all looked over here at this chart, and they had corrected it to my number of 0.003 LD. Now, I'm not bragging for that point. What I'm saying is from that day forward, guys, many of you remember it, they never would list an asteroid anywhere that close to Earth. It was lucky if they would mention it a day after it passed. And that I'll leave it at that. And so suddenly, because not space weather, but NASA was called out, they decided, instead of fessing up, they had to correct that asteroid because it came that close. But they hid all the information from us. And that's the cowardly Democrat socialist way. Just to put it honest with you, instead of saying I made a mistake, BP was right, we'll just, instead of even letting you even try to figure out what's coming close anymore, we're just going to throw a red line on 3.3 LD. Really? That's over 1,000,000 miles, dude. Why are you even putting it on the dang list? Anyway, let's go back to the article. Now, guys, I'm going to read part of this, but if you've listened to my videos for a long time, you know my voice isn't healed. It's still very dry. I'm feeling so much better, but just it affects your vocal cords, but I'm trying to be careful. But I'm going to make you aware of it. I'm going to put you a link to this Zero Hedge article. Again, a source that I trust. It says the strange booms are shaking homes and rattling windows. Some witnesses say that they sound like cannons being fired, just like Cherublinks and Cuba. And even though the mystery booms and accompanying flashes of light, mostly at night except for Cuba, have been captured on camera all across the nation. Many of them were kind of cloud cover images. So far, the authorities do not have a reasonable explanation for why they are happening. Can I put a sentence in there? And they also will not report any longer because they were called out by BP Earthwatch about their data on the close approaches. So now, instead of admitting it, they hide the information. Unfortunately, it does not appear that this strange phenomenon is going away anytime soon. No, because we're in a meteor shower they don't want to talk about. In fact, the sun, which I don't know that much about the sun, is reporting that the frequency of the mystery booms appears to have gathered pace over the past week, and they have. And not looking at that report, looking at Zero Hedge, you've got mystery booms sounding, been shaking houses, terrifying residents after flashes of light were spotted across America. Experts have been baffled by a spat of seismic booms from Arizona to New York that appear to have gathered pace over the past week, since the big one came in over Florida. Rattled houses in Cuba. Over the weekend, the mystery started to get much more national attention after an incident in Rhode Island on Saturday was followed by one in New York on Sunday. And again, I don't want to read it all, guys. They talk about the houses shaking and all, but trying to get through it. Then Tennessee, January 31st, began on January 31st with residents of 3 separate counties. Tennessee reported hearing a loud boom around 11:30 a.m. Local chemical plants were contacted, but reported nothing anomalous. Authorities in Bradley, McKinn, and Polk counties are still investigating what could have caused such a powerful noise. 2 things. Just a week ago, it was announced that the U.S. actually bought the Iron Dome missile shoot-down system that the Israelis had. Usually we're selling it, but we bought one of their Iron Domes, which I think if you go back, we helped develop. But anyway, it hasn't got here, it hasn't been implicated. They hear this kind of noise when they're shooting down missiles coming out of Gaza and other places north of them. It says, and during the time frame, numerous North Carolina residents called authorities to report unexplained loud blasts and booms. Guys, why would they hide that we're inside some type of, they may not have a name for the meteor shower, right? They saw it coming. They know it's here. The radar's too good. They can see the small ones. They will report it now after it happens. Why? What good does it do them not to tell us? To keep the slaves in a certain mentality, keep working? If you knew there was something possibly, I'm not saying catastrophic, this may go on with nothing else happening. I'm just telling you what I think it is. They don't want it to keep the slaves from going to work because they think something apocalyptic may be happening. I'm not saying that. I do know that in Job, God said, you don't know what treasures I store. He's talking about hailstorms in the Bible for that great day of the Lord. Look at Job. I think it's chapter maybe 38. Check it out. During the same time frame, numerous North Carolina residents called authorities also to report unexplained loud blast and booms. Wake, Franklin County. Keep going, New Orleans, guys. A few days later, strange explosions. Like sounds were reported by numerous residents in Big NO. Okay, it's coming into the Lakeview. Look here. One was caught on camera by Eyewitness News there in NO. I've been there many times. You keep going down at Tucson, Arizona. Faye D. Hoff wrote, first it was a major rattle like a huge truck about to plow into my house. Then the boom shook my windows. I was sure some of them were broken, but they didn't. My dog jumped up. I'm at River and Campbell again in Tucson. We are in some type of meteor shower. And sometimes you may come through a meteor shower for the first time. In other words, you had a comet just come by, possibly. We've had a few in the last year that wrap around the sun. They've got a long debris trail. Or we suddenly going through a debris trail of that? We saw ISUN break up around the sun. It had a 20 million mile trail of debris behind it. Now, it went well above us, over 40 million miles. It's not that. But what happens is they do disintegrate. And every meteor shower that we have now that's named has been traced back, guys, if you do the research, to one comet called a Great Comet. It broke up, and the many trails of it breaking up are the different meteor showers that we have now. Some have been named to a couple of different comets, but all of those were tied back to one main event. If you continue with the report, it goes down and talks about it, but again, too many places reporting the exact same thing. Here, there's even a video. I'm going to link you to this article, Unexplained Events, World Happening. I'm not going to play their video here. I'll let you go to their channel and look at it. But guys, it's not unexplained. It's very easy to explain. What is unexplained is the inability for NASA to admit first that they don't know about something, and they hate to admit that. And why are they covering up this meteor shower? It's either that or an attack. I don't think it's an attack. It's a heads up. Be safe.